Let's start things off with this beautiful linen thread card showcasing the Maid of the Mist below American Falls at Niagara. Just look at the pinks and the purples in the water there and in the mist coming off of the waterfall. This card was sent all the way back in 1950. We had a beautiful day, quite warm. We are here at the falls. It is quite a sight. This card shows a fair angler among the New England hills up in Maine. It was sent all the way back in 1909. This is a sample of the unmarried women that I find here. Yours in haste. There she is. This card shows the lower falls on the Yellowstone River as it runs through Yellowstone National Park. Sent in 1964. Hi, had an argument over a picnic area today, but the bear won out. Sure is fantabulous here. Going to spend another night. Please send new set of eyeballs. I'm going to start with the back on this card. It was sent back in 1971. Hi, bet you all are jealous and would like to be in this town. Would you like to know the name of the town? Why, it's Intercourse, Pennsylvania, of course. That's where everybody would like to be. Next is another linen thread card, this time showcasing Lake Chargogagog Manchagagog Chabanagungumog. The message on this card just says, huh? Sent back in 1940. I don't know what's so confusing about Lake Chargogagog Manchagagog Chabanagungumog. Next, we have a very pretty card showing the Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. with some cherry trees in the foreground. Sent in 1964. Hi, having a great time. Washington is a beautiful city. I'm sightseeing and trying to keep cool. Here's another linen card. This is undoubtedly my favorite era of old postcards. I love the texture on the paper and the range of incredibly vibrant colors you can see on these cards. Just look at that sky up there. This is the oldest house in the USA, found in Santa Fe, New Mexico. This card was sent back in 1946. Hello, Emily. We got here without any trouble. I like it all right as I can sleep day and night. We explore the mountains and valleys on weekends and see lots of pretty things. I'm canning apricots today. Lots of fruit here now. Write us if you aren't too busy. This next card shows an ice skating rink in New Haven, Connecticut. It was sent back in 1961 and it says, Hi, good lookin'. How's things back in the big city? This is my new home. It is a college town. The people here treat us like kings. But I sure do miss my queen. Keep an eye on my interests. I'll write a letter a little later. Love, Jim. Here is a very old card showing some caves in Litchfield, Connecticut. This one was sent back in 1908. I will not be able to come down Labor Day. Papa will explain. I hope everything was all right. Next up is the Grand Canyon. Look at the shadows on this one. This card was sent back in 1985. Dear Mother, finally got a short break from classes and work, spending a few days in the Flagstaff Grand Canyon area. Having great weather. Wish you could see this too. We'll write a letter soon. Next up is the famous crookedest street in the world in San Francisco, California. This card was sent in 1970. Dear Tammy and Wendy, rode down this street today. The airplane ride was great. We had a steak dinner on the plane, rode on the trolley and had some delicious homemade ice cream. Tomorrow, going across the Golden Gate Bridge. Miss you. Love, Mommy. Letter coming soon, by the way. Here is the Letitia Street House in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Look at the red on the brick. Sent in 1947. My dear friend, I thank you for the lovely birthday card. I will be seeing you all soon. This one was never sent, but I had to put it in the video anyway because it's just a fun little artifact of American history. This, believe it or not, is a postcard. It's made of 100% leather. These were made back in the early 1900s. You were supposed to, just like any other postcard, put a stamp up in the corner and then write your message on this and stick it in the mail just like this. This is an actual postcard. They were eventually banned by the Postal Service because, unsurprisingly, they were hard to handle and they ended up just jamming all sorts of machinery and stuff like that. Pretty funny, right? The Lily Pond and entrance to Highland Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Sent in 1940. I am having a nice time. Wish you were here. This one is a real photo card showing Bellingham Harbor in Washington. It was sent in 1944. Here's a card that you've been wanting to add to your caboodle. It ain't much, but then as such, I hope it meets with your approval. Wow. Here we have Mexican hat in Utah. Sent in 1963. This is the north end of Monument Valley. It was a very nice scenic drive. Love, Grammy. Here we have the Lincoln Speech Memorial in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, standing where Abraham Lincoln gave a speech dedicating the National Soldiers Cemetery. 1950. Hello, folks. Stayed here overnight, having a lovely trip. Why the devil don't you write? Sent in 1906, and there's no message on this one. It's just an address and a name. That kind of makes it sting a little more, don't you think? Like, why the devil don't you write? This one is a little cartoon map of Florida. Sent in 1973. We are enjoying the warm Florida sunshine. Had some cool weather, but is real nice again. Ted and Ellis C. were here yesterday. They are such good company and someone from home. Les says I keep him too busy to do much fishing. It's difficult when we have our own home, but enjoy it so much. How are both of you? Are you feeling better, Delbert? You will have to learn to take minute vacations each day. In other words, slow down. We hear Bob C's father isn't doing so well. If there is a need of a remembrance, please include us. And then it looks like after that, the note got covered up with some tape or something that might have been used to keep this card in a scrapbook, something like that. It is important to slow down and take minute vacations. This one's one of my favorites. It's another pretty old card. This looks like maybe a wood cutting team or something like that. It doesn't look like it was ever sent, but I would guess something like 1909 on this one. These are all Polanders, but the cook, he is French. And then if you look at the front again and look real close, you can see that whoever wrote that note also left a little marking to designate who the cook is in the team here. I also like this guy on the end who's sitting in a barrel on a wagon reading a newspaper. Here we have Rehoboth Beach in Delaware. According to the back of the card, this is called the world's playground. The card was sent back in 1961. Having a good time here, the water is fine. Next are some parrots and flamingos in Florida. This card was sent in 1956. The weather was cool, but it is warm now. I hope it stays for a while. I can walk out a short distance. They have so many lakes in this town, and they are beautiful. The flame vine in Florida. 1950. How is this for beautiful? Having a good time. I'd say that's pretty good for beautiful. Bryce Canyon National Park in Utah. Sent in 1956. Dear folks, we agree with you that this place is just tremendous. Took lots of nice pictures. Have traveled over 2,800 miles so far. The weather is warm but beautiful. Plan to be in California tomorrow. Oh, here's a pretty one. Auk Lake in Alaska. (1954) June 14th. We're having a delightful trip. In Juneau today, on our way further north tomorrow. Here we have a water buffalo in Trinidad. Card sent in 1969. On the agenda, a trip to the world-famous Caroni Bird Sanctuary, a truly fascinating tropical swamp where our friend here is having his coffee break. Signed, Trinidad Tim. Here we have another linen card, this time showing some flowers in Miami, Florida. Sent in 1951. Dear brother and sister, here we are, and it is just as beautiful as this picture. The houses, flowers, and trees are just out of this world. We have the nicest cabin, and the yard here is just beautiful. All colors. Nora and Stuart is with us, and I think they are enjoying the trip very much. Wish we could stay longer. Write me and tell me how your hair is. Bye now. Here's another Miami card, Flagler Street from Bayfront Park. 1951 again. Hello everyone. We arrived safe and having a wonderful time. Marilyn is in her glory. Sandy and she have a room of their own. Rather chilly the last couple of days. See you later. Breckenridge Ski Area in Colorado. Sent in 1956. Hi, we are having a great time. have been skiing every day since we arrived here Saturday at noon. It snows every day and has been cold. As much as I love the linen cards, I also have a bit of a soft spot for these like early chrome cards from the late 50s and 60s and into the 70s. There's just kind of like this nostalgic haze about them that I really like. Here we have a coconut vendor in Trinidad. Sent in 1965 or maybe 1963. The postmark is kind of scratched out. Dear Chris, we had plane delays and didn't arrive here until 3:30 this morning, so we are still pretty tired. But it is a very beautiful place. We miss you, but hope you are enjoying grandmothers. Oh, and by the way, if you are interested in receiving a vintage postcard in the mail from me, then check out the Dime Store Adventures Postcard Club. I might send you a vintage postcard like this, or like that, or like that, or 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 maybe that one, or that one, or that, or that, or this one of an elephant hotel in New Jersey, or this one, or maybe even I might send you a card of Lake Chargagagog Manchagagog Chabanagungamog. I will be handwriting every single one of these cards, including a little message on every single card and sending it to the mail directly to you. You can sign up for this club on my Patreon. It's a monthly club. For $20, you get a postcard in the mail every single month from me, and you also get access to my Patreon feed, which means you get bonus videos, pages from my video notes, behind the scenes content, get to participate in Q&As, all sorts of stuff. And you get your name included at the end of every single one of my videos. If that sounds cool to you, check out my Patreon, check out the Postcard Club. Oh, and if you only want one card, then feel free to just sign up for the club and then immediately cancel after the first month. Thank you so much. I could not be making videos without you. Let's get back to reading some cards. Here we have some petrified logs in Arizona. Went through here yesterday, and today, the Grand Canyon. We are now on our way home by way of Yosemite, 3 to 4 days. We are really enjoying our trip. Here we have a husky dog team in Alaska. 1958. Hi. Here is another card for your collection. The country around here looks a lot like this. I'll write you a letter sometime this week if everything goes as planned. Thanks for writing even though I owed you a letter. I didn't have your new address. Here we have Old Faithful in Yellowstone National Park. Beautiful card. No note on this one, just says, Cody, Wyoming, Dad, 1950. Here's a little collage card showing some things you might expect to see down in Texas. Even includes a little poem there. Sent in 1950. Well, we fished nearly all day and caught one about 8 inches long. Only one we caught. Getting supper here in Rockport. Guess we will go on tomorrow about Corpus Christi. We'll fish a little off pier after supper. Are you being a good girl and minding Grandma and Grandpa? Well, I'll write again in a day or so. A monument to Fort Bridger in Wyoming. 1950. Martha says Roger is doing well. I am very glad to hear that. Here we have a beach at Narragansett Pier in Rhode Island. 1945. Having a super time at the shore. Swimming is great. Here is the Edgewoods Resort in Alexandria Bay, New York. 1969. Dear Mom and Pop, we enjoyed a boat ride down the river and the children had fun swimming. This resort is beautifully located. Here we have the Fifth Avenue building in New York City. 1933. Well, Johnny, I got your letter all right, and I will see that Santa Claus won't forget about you and Richie. Here we have Mount Vernon, the former home of George Washington. Card sent in 1966. I was here about a month. I might be able to get to town and back. I wish I was home. That is the best place for the likes of me. Going to Smithsonian on Wednesday. Going to Bureau of Engraving tomorrow. Next, we have a street in Quebec. Card sent in 1945. We are having a wonderful time in this quaint French-speaking town. Here is the Port Arthur Bridge down in Texas. Card sent in 1941. Dear Rachel and John, we are having a grand time. We'll go to Galveston and Houston tomorrow. Hope you are well. Ooh, this next one is gorgeous. Look at this beautiful chrome card showing a snowy street in Aspen, Colorado. (1967) Hi, we are sure having fun. The snow is beautiful. We have been skiing Buttermilk Mountain today. Here we have the State Capitol building in Jackson, Mississippi. Card sent in 1961. Howdy, nice trip today. Temperature 79 to 80 degrees. Overcast most of the time. David is enjoying Civil War cannons. Staying in Meridian tonight. Alabama bound tomorrow. The Wolf Creek Pass Highway in Colorado. 1946. This is where they catch big fish in the Rio Grande. The deer season opens here Saturday, and I may go out for a day or two. Some sea lions off the Monterey Peninsula in California. Card sent 1966. Greetings from San Francisco. We'll visit Chinatown tonight and tour the city tomorrow. We heard the sea lions bark all night last night. Today, we saw hundreds of them along the coast. Have visited many interesting places. Time for another pretty linen thread card, this time showing a flowering tree in Florida. Card sent in 1956. Hello, Well, here we are in Florida, eating good oranges and visiting with Emmett and Dora. I haven't caught any fish yet, but Emmett has. Big ones. Left Oklahoma on January at 12 o'clock. Have been sightseeing and enjoying the sunshine and warm weather. Hot days and cool nights. Next is Brant Rock in Massachusetts. I actually wanted to make a video about this rock a while ago, but when I looked into it, I found out that the rock is nowadays almost entirely buried under the sand. Only the very top of it is still sticking out, and you can pretty much only see it during low tide. Card sent in 1909. Dear Ella, we came down here yesterday. Had clams for dinner today, and the folks are having lobster tonight. Here's another non-US card, the Great Iron Bridge in Germany. Card sent in 1909. Dear friend, this is one of my trips around the world. I was in such a hurry I didn't take time to get any other. Are you coming over to stay with me? Do come and stay until Sunday if you can. We will have a basket of fun. Well, I hope they came. The Ropes Memorial Historical House in Salem, Massachusetts. Card sent 1962. Hi, nice country up here, plenty of food and such liquid nourishment. A Lincoln statue in New Salem, Illinois. Card sent in 1964. Dear friends, it was grand to renew acquaintance with you and your gang, and puppies. Congratulations on your fine, handsome, healthy family. God has blessed you surely, and us too. Now we are all ready for another year. Here's a cool card, the Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. Card sent in 1950. Hi there. I just want to let you know we got this far okay. Sure are tired. Think we will be heading home tomorrow. Greetings from Paradise, Michigan. Sent in 1954. This is a postcard from a member of the chain letter started in Sweden. The House Office Building in Washington. Card sent in 1916. Am having a fine time and am seeing some sights. Here we have a steamer ship in the Avalon Bay in California. Card sent 1958. I never dreamed I could get so far from home. Paula and I left last Friday with Grace staying at her daughter's in Santa Monica right on beach. We are on ship now returning from the island. 2-hour trip each way. So many beautiful things. Sure hope you and your family are fine. Come down. I'll be home next week. And if we look at the front again, we can see that the person who sent this card also wrote, I'm on this ship now, with an arrow pointing to the ship. Here we have a grand scene at the New York World's Fair. Card sent in 1965. Went to the fair on Monday. It's really great. It's hot in New York, but I'm having a fine time. Here's another linen card of Niagara Falls. Sent in 1946. Just bear with me. I'll write you eventually. Lariat Trail on Lookout Mountain in Colorado. 1948. We are on Lookout Mountain. Wish you were here. Fishing in Everglades National Park. Card sent in 1961. Hi again. Sorry I didn't get to write you yesterday, but we have been driving all the time. We ended up here at Marathon where you and I were year before last. Pretty windy and rough water, but we'll try to fish some today. Here we have another very pretty alpine card, this time showing the Sunlight Ski Area in Colorado. Card sent in 1983. Dear Mama and Papa, hi, I hope you are all doing well here on your anniversary. I hope that you had a really nice birthday too, Mama. I've been thinking about you. We had a really good trip here. Nothing bad happened and I'm really have a good time. I'm trying to be careful, but I still fall a few times. I'll see you soon. Happy birthday and happy anniversary. Here we have a big mansion in the Thousand Islands of New York. Card sent in 1926. Have started on a 2-week vacation. Be sure to have everything ready for our party next month. Here we have an aerial view of Hollywood by the Sea in Florida. Card sent in 1957. Hi folks, don't ever think of not taking your vacation in Florida. It is terrific. We are having a wonderful time. I don't know if I'll be able to get Bert home. We have been looking at houses down here. They are beautiful for the price. Have come to the conclusion that we are only half living in Bedford. And this card was sent to somebody in Bedford, Pennsylvania. But I guess it was mis-sent to Bradford, Pennsylvania back in 1957. And now it's right here in my hands. Ooh, this is a pretty one. The Palace of the Governors in Santa Fe, New Mexico. 1948. I have been in Santa Fe for a week. Another beautiful flowering tree in Florida. I have a lot of Florida cards for some reason. 1941. Greetings from Florida. Here we have the State Capitol building in Austin, Texas. Hello, Thelma. Here we are in the hot state. We'll be glad to get back home. We are going to Missouri next week. Baby hasn't been too well. It's just the hot weather, I think. We'll see you before long. Sent in 1947. Ah, the good old days when a random highway interchange in Waco, Texas could be a postcard. Sent in 1962. Hope this finds Uncle Wally much better. Doris and I are on our way home. Water skiing in Hillman, Michigan. Card sent in 1961. Hi, how are you this beautiful morning? The weather has been fine the past 2 days. I just came in from water skiing. The boat is running fairly well, but it got me out of the water. Went surfboarding last night. I am pretty red today, but not sore as yet. I'll tell you all about it in tonight's letter. Be good. And then up here it says, am going to try jumps yet. Ha ha. The new National Museum in Washington, D.C. Card sent 1912. Sorry I didn't see you while I was at home earlier. Am taking this mode of sending regret. Write me sometime. Is a good mode of sending regret. Big Bend National Park in Texas. Card sent in 1968. Dear Mother, we got here yesterday at 6:30. It was a long drive, but it is beautiful country. Hope you feel okay. Beautiful card showing the Rio Grande River, the border between Mexico and Texas. Look at the reds and the oranges and the yellows on this one. Card sent in 1941. How is everything? We're going to Juarez this morning. We got here about noon yesterday. Lawrence works from 2 till 10 at night. Are you being a good girl with Loretta? Does Daddy miss me doing chores? It rained a little ahead of us all along. This card was sent in 1906 and it only has an address and a name on the back. On the front, it has Hunt's Mills in East Providence, Rhode Island with a message for Hattie. It says, will you have Ralph stop at the store and get some dahlia bulbs on Saturday? We'll leave them with Ray. Or Roy. Dark Island, again in the Thousand Islands of New York. Card sent 1916. Sent you a card and thought you might like another. Having a great time. Greetings from Natural Bridge, Virginia, higher than Niagara and old as the dawn. Card sent 1983. Hi, Mom and Dad. Spent Sunday night here. Brian has been very good. Traveled 8 hours on Sunday, and today we will get to Nancy's sometime in the afternoon. So far, rainy and cool. Oh, here's one of my favorite types of old cards. This one was sent in 1942, and the message just says, see other side. Because on the other side, we have a little pre-made checkbox messaging system here. See, the person who sent this message wanted to say, dear friend, this place is ideal. It is very warm. I am happy and broke. I spend my time gossiping, sleeping, and thinking of you. The people are interesting. I need you all. Yours with love. You use one of these cards if you want to avoid writer's cramp, you see. Next is Grant's Tomb in New York City. 1946. Having a wonderful time here in New York. Here we have a small boat harbor in Alpena, Michigan. Hi, beautiful. The weather has really been nice. We had a little rain yesterday. I think of you all the time. I wish so much that we were here together. This is a beautiful lake to ski on. And now that I know the boat can pull a skier, we're going to do a lot of it when I get home. Be good. Sent in 1961. Here we have a pretty unique card. Lake Louise up in Canada. We're having quite a time en route to Ohio. If you ever have a chance to see Banff and Lake Louise, recommend it. Here's some more Florida flamingos. 1957. Having a good time down here. The weather has been cloudy and has rained most of the time. See a lot of orange groves and palm trees along road. P.S. Thanks for Christmas card and Valentine. The Public Library in St. Louis, Missouri. Sent in 1944. Hello to all. Had a nice trip, but got rather tired of cold here. Leaving tomorrow. Having a nice time. The poppies at Lake Louise in the Canadian Rockies. 1940. This is no mud puddle. It is just heaven. Most marvelous place, lake, mountains, flowers, and grand hotel. Having a fine trip. Looks like you have both got rested from your trip. It does look like heaven. The Hollywood Beach Hotel in Hollywood by the Sea, Florida. 1954. Spending a fine week here at the Fidelity Mutual Convention. Best wishes. Here's a pretty unique card showing the $100 million dam on the Columbia River in Oregon and Washington. Card sent in 1953. Hello, folks. Here we are again, rambling through the country. This is a wonderful piece of engineering and quite a huge place. Having a nice trip and will be in California tomorrow, Sunday. Came down the coast from Portland. Wonderful country. This is a beautiful card. Look at the gradient between the blues and the yellows. This is showing Old Faithful Geyser in Yellowstone National Park. I'm having a little trouble reading this one because the pencil is kind of smudged, but I'm going to include it anyway because I think there's a pretty interesting story here. This card was sent in 1948, and I believe it says, "We found your purse on the seat," and then it says at the bottom in pen here, "Will mail the purse." So I think there's a chance that what this card is is somebody's method of trying to return a purse to a random person that they saw leave the purse behind on a train or a bus or something. Isn't that crazy? Looking north on 2nd Street in Laramie, Wyoming. Card sent 1952. Dear friend, still going strong. Spent most of yesterday in Yellowstone Park. Saw lots of snow and bear. Be in Denver, Colorado tonight. Cable cars in San Francisco, California. Card sent 1972. Hello, got here all in one piece. It's amazing how close San Francisco is to home. Via an airplane. Am staying across the street from the show site. That is not bad considering all. Am taking a short siesta. It's quite a large show. Reminds me of SIPIX in Washington, D.C. of 1966. Haven't seen a soul that I know. It's amazing how close San Francisco is to Oklahoma City via an airplane. A jaunting car in Ireland. Card sent 1912. Dear friend, how are you enjoying your new home? I would like to see you and have a talk with you. Here we have another Civil War monument in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Sent in 1938. Saw this place yesterday on my way to Washington. The Blue Bonnet Hotel in Sweetwater, Texas. 1941. How is my sugar? Be a good girl. Mind Granny. Mother will bring you something nice. I hope she got something nice. Here's another card of the Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. Sent in 1947. Here we are at our destination. Went out to the cave and watched the bats come out. Going back in the morning to make the round with the 8:30 groups. A beautiful residence in Juarez, Old Mexico. No postmark on this one. There is a stamp for some reason though. So I'm guessing this is late 30s, early 40s, maybe early 50s. Barbara got your card. We are okay. We may start home Tuesday if we can get the girls to change their minds. They don't want to leave until Wednesday. So don't expect us until you see us. We had some rain last night. It has been cool here most of the time. Love to all. The Lambert Gardens in Portland, Oregon. What a beautiful card this one is. Sent in 1948. Dear folks, we are in Portland on our way back. We will be home in just about a week. Having a grand time. We are okay. Acadia National Park up in Maine. Sent 1980. Hi, We are spending the week camping in Bar Harbor, Maine. It's truly beautiful here, and the nicest part, it's cool. Carlita, hope you're doing okay since your operation. I hope you're doing okay too, Carlita. An Amish homestead in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Card sent in 1970. Hello, Martha. Esther and I are at it again, touring the Amish country. Tomorrow, go through the Hershey place. Having fun. Autumn color along the Blue Ridge Parkway in Virginia and North Carolina. Sent in 1956, I think. Thanks for your lovely Christmas card. Here we have another card from Paris. Marked 1960. Leaving here tomorrow for Vienna. The State Capitol Building in Santa Fe, New Mexico. These linen cards make literally everything just look so beautiful. Sent in 1948. Hi, gee, having a wonderful time. I went shopping all morning and you should see what I have. The Moffat Library in Washingtonville, New York. 1971. Thanks so much for the gift certificate. It will be a great help this fall. New York is unbelievable, very smoggy and very big. Well, I'll see you all soon. I also just noticed this is addressed to the library staff in Oklahoma, and they sent them a card of a library in New York. Here we have some more poppies at Lake Louise up in the Canadian Rockies. 1954. Hi there. Wish you could see these pretty flowers and feel the crisp air from the snow in the background. Have seen more snow today and we like it. A fisherman with the catch of the day in Long Island, New York. Sent 1955. Well, I started to start this postcard by asking you what you were doing this summer, but I know all you ever do is eat. Jeez. Have you been playing tennis lately? Don't get too good now because I probably won't have a chance to play. I haven't started working yet, so I've just been loafing. We went to the Atlantic yesterday and shopping today. Friday we're going fishing. Well, I gotta close. Write and let me know what's new. I also like this one is addressed to Doodle and it's signed Love Doodle. So I don't know if this is a husband and a wife or what. I know all you ever do is eat. The First Methodist Church in Alpena, Michigan. 1961. Hi. We're getting things packed little by little. We're going to my aunt's until Tuesday. We're leaving for there on Saturday. I hope your arm is feeling better. Clarice said that your arm was burned. Hope everyone is well. We are all okay. The Hilton Hotel in Barbados. Sent 1981. Barbados is beautiful. Big white sandy beach, blue water just like a picture, and good trade wind so it's not so hot. The flying fish is delicious. Bet I've gained 10 pounds. This place is built over an old fort overlooking Carlisle Bay. Wish you and Joe were here. Chinatown in San Francisco. This card is real eventful. Look at all the color and the shadows. This is a pretty one. Sent in 1943. We are still here and still don't know for how much longer. It can't be for long though. Lawrence reports again Saturday. It will take me about 4 days to get home, as I will have an 8 or 10 hour layover in LA. Have lots to tell. The Dulles Dam over the mighty Columbia River in Oregon and Washington. Sent 1962. Got to Portland. They have Pacific Daylight Time. We got here at 9:15, but it was actually later. Got out of here at 8:30 a.m. Very confusing. We saw this dam on the way today. See you in Seattle. The Lariat Trail climbing Lookout Mountain in Colorado. Sent in 1954. Jim and I had a nice time in Texas. We are all okay here and everything is going well. The boys are in school now. Martha is feeling well and doing well with everything. We hope you're all okay there. The Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. Card sent in 1940. If you want a book to read, you can get it here. Hope you are also have a fine time. Storybook Forest in Pennsylvania. 1962. Hi, I'm really having a riot. Grandma and I wish we could stay here a week or two. I had lobster tonight for dinner and am stuffed. Storybook Forest is real cute. Red Riding Hood gave me cookies, and Captain Candy gave me a lollipop. This place has the strangest people. Sent 1943. Sorry I took so long in writing, but when I got a chance to write, I forgot your address and had to write to my sister for it. I just got it day before yesterday. There isn't anything interesting down here, so I've got nothing to write about. All I can say is give my regards to Dino and all. A high-jumping porpoise in San Pedro, California. 1958. Hi, Peg. How are you? I am fine. We are really having fun. We went to Marineland yesterday. Today, we are going to Disneyland and North's Berry Farm. Write me soon. The Bunker Hill Monument in Charlestown, Massachusetts. 1960. Dear Dad, I am having a good time down here. I am getting fat. A clipper ship in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Hi kids, just returned from a trip through the Dells. The strange rock formations are really something to see. This is beautiful country. Weather is perfect. The Italian Swiss Colony Vineyards north of San Francisco, California. 1962. Sure is a lot of wine here. We took the tour. Very nice. Don't know where we are going from here. The Deer Lodge in Red River, New Mexico. 1978. Hi, we had a nice trip out. 493 miles. Enjoying the cool air today. High temperature about 85. Candlewood Lake near Danbury, Connecticut. What a pretty card this one is. 1962. Hi, weather here sure is cold and damp. We'll be glad to get back where it is warm. Having a nice time, we'll write later. More flamingos in Sarasota, Florida. 1962. Hi, arrived Saturday. Weather and water grand. Wish we could stay longer. Here's another one of those cards we saw of Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. 1958. I hope I didn't spoil your schedule for the whole day. I enjoyed the few minutes we had to chat, but think it was more bother to you than it was worth. I arrived on time, but had to wait downtown about half an hour for a bus. I wished for my Ford. It is still warm here, but rained most of this afternoon. I'll be looking for you and your folks at Christmas time. If you want directions to get here, let me know. Thanks for my breakfast and rides. The Tryon Palace Restoration in New Bern, North Carolina. Marked 1961. My whole trip was wonderful. On the Eastern Shore tonight. Plan to stay at the Broadway Inn in Annapolis for 3 or 4 days before returning home. Hope you have been having a nice time too. And then up here they said, this is magnificent. Save this card for me. I'll save it for you. The Gardens of the Governor General's Residence in Trinidad. 1969. You may pass this on your way to Maracas Bay, a lovely beach and a picnic feast for our sun and sea worshippers. Trinidad Tim. The Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood, California. 1951. Having a nice, quiet visit here, but will be seeing you before long. Here's a real beaut of a card. The West River Road in Brattleboro, Vermont. Look at the coloring on the road there. Marked 1938. Your nice long letter received this noon, and I surely think you had your share of the recent flood and damage, but it could be worse. I am sure F is glad to get some business to help offset the loss and trouble. We'll try and write later. Best regards. The good old days when any random hotel or motel had a postcard. This particular motel is in Everett, Washington, and this particular card was sent in 1974. Would you believe we got here in time to get a room? Tomorrow it's Olympia National Park and maybe Mount Rainier. More later. Antoine's Restaurant in New Orleans. 1958. The weather got a little cool in Florida, so we drove over here yesterday. Had a delicious dinner at this place, then took a sightseeing tour. Sounds like a great day. Boiler Bay in Oregon. 1957. We've been having a wonderful time, although we've only seen the sun occasionally. The Oregon coast is all you have ever heard it to be. More news later. This is a cool one. It's Coney Island at night. I love the deep, deep blue in the sky there. 1939. I'm very tired now, but I'm also having a grand time. City Park in Portsmouth, Virginia. Sent 1944. Just a line to let you know that I got back okay. Met a buddy tonight and am having a hell of a time. We'll write again later. The Sun Deck in Aspen, Colorado. 1962. We just rode the chairlift up here. It was really thrilling. The view is really beautiful. There is still considerable snow in the high areas here. I really have no idea what this is a picture of, but I love the message on it. 1910. Hope you didn't get scared out at what I said about losing your buttons. You know I'm awful to say things. Man, I wonder what conversation possibly could have led to this card being sent. The Hotel Statler in Washington, D.C. This is definitely a pretty unique card. Sent in 1944. Dear Mike, Bob and I are staying here, but the hotel really doesn't look like this, though it is very nice. Bob saw the president yesterday a.m. on his victory parade. He came in here on the Navy bus, and I came in on the civilian bus a little later, and missed seeing the president. Huh. What a bad deal. The Kona Inn in Hawaii. Aloha. Somebody actually kissed this card. That is crazy. Somebody actually kissed this card 70 years ago. The John F. Kennedy Memorial in Hyannis, Massachusetts. 1968. One trip up here is enough for me. It sure is not like the West. The wide open spaces. Seen a lot of different places. Took a boat trip out on the bay. Going to Maine tomorrow. The Hilton Hotel in Trinidad. Our activities in Trinidad, a refreshing swim followed by a day of leisure and an evening cocktail, cruise aboard a sumptuous yacht. From Trinidad Tim. Again, we have Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico. Just look at the scale in this card. It looks great. 1969. Hi, we're having a fine time. We'll be back soon. General Douglas MacArthur Park in Los Angeles, California. Card sent in 1949. Dear neighbor, hope you are both well and not working too hard, having a nice, quiet visit. The Chimney Tops in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. 1976. Saw this yesterday going through the Smokies. Everything going fine. See you soon. Here's a card showing various locations at Oxford College. 1953. Oxford is most interesting. Living in hotel built in 1182. Grand Canyon in Arizona. 1944. We are on the train going through some mountains in Arizona and heading for San Diego, California. We left Oklahoma City Monday night and have been traveling ever since. Here we have a ski class being taught in Aspen, Colorado. Card sent, 1963. We arrived in Aspen Sunday night. The place we are staying is really nice. I had my first ski lesson today. It was a lot of fun. I take 2 more days of lessons. I bought some stretch pants and some real cute snow boots. The St. Louis Arch. 1967. We've been seeing some very beautiful country in the first 2 days of our trip. We've come 1,221 miles. Today we will be at Pikes Peak in Colorado Springs and hope to reach the Grand Canyon by Sunday. We found St. Louis to be a very exciting city. Some delicious Cape Cod lobster. 1956. They are delicious. Now it's time to get started back to Newport. Skiing in Red River, New Mexico. 1965. Hi. We are sure having a lot of fun. We had a nice snow last night. We took lessons Sunday and Monday. 2 this afternoon. We will take more lessons. The Philadelphia Museum of Art. 1956. Do you remember this spot? I drove past the other day and the flowers were lovely. The Rafters Motor Court in Pensacola, Florida. 1957. Hi, we've really had a good time so far. The weather is just beautiful. We've got to get into summer clothing tomorrow. We'll write again later. Nevada Fall at Yosemite National Park. 1946. Hi, Martha. I just got back from playing golf. What a game. How are you and your family? How is every little thing at camp? Did you get the 2 cards I sent? My uncle, who is in the Navy, is coming to Fresno tomorrow to see us. How is H? We are leaving Fresno Monday and are going to St. Helena to see my aunt. How's Jean? Be seeing you, Richard. A deer in Yellowstone National Park. Posted in 1947. Just saw our first 3 bears. Only came in today. Seeing so much before entering. Having loads of fun. Ross Lake in Wyoming. 1964. Owen and kids went trout fishing yesterday. Glad we didn't have to depend on them for food. Heading home through western Colorado. Spent last night in Pennadale, Wyoming. Sure pretty. Here's another very beautiful card. Monument Lake in Colorado. This place is heaven. We really are having a sensational time. I shall hate to come back there. I guess Philip told you the fun we had Saturday morning before I left. Much as I hate to say it, I might like him in time. Ooh. Greetings from Washington. 1951. Howdy. Pausing a moment to say hello. Am walking all over this place trying to see all the sights. Probably I should find a mirror for the biggest one. Be good. Wow. Pretty big time self-diss there. The Patio Royal Restaurant in New Orleans. 1953. Say, there are some sure good-looking boys here. You ought to be here. Greetings from Stone Harbor, New Jersey. 1979. Hi, having lots of fun. We met some cute lifeguards. Weather's okay, I guess, but I think I'd rather be home. Love you always. A bison in Yellowstone National Park. 1963. Dear Granny, we saw a buffalo just like this one yesterday, and we have already counted 37 bears we've seen. Hoover Dam. 1969. It is Wednesday afternoon, 3 o'clock, and we are all tired of walking and looking, so we are resting right now and writing cards to the people we think the most about. Hope you are both well. It's almost like a poetry in that one. It just kind of rolled off the tongue when I was saying it. A fossil dig in Utah. 1974. Went by to see how the boys are doing on their bone digging in the Quarry Museum. There's a few more bones showing, but they say there's still 10 more years' work yet. Slow, I reckon. The San Juan Islands in Washington. 1963, I believe. This is typical of what I see whenever I feel like looking. Wish you had driven out here with me. Maybe another year. A beach in Jamaica. 1968. Well now, and can you imagine a better place to be comes November? From Jamaica Jack. Mount Rainier in Washington. Hi, nothing new, just a card of the view that I want to send to you, so don't get in a stew because my verse is pew. I had nothing to say and space to fill, so here's the card. I don't think your verse is pew, Jimmy. The Franciscan Monastery in Washington, D.C. 1942. Hello, dear. Sincerest regrets that I couldn't be over that Sunday. Though you doubt my word, it's true. Had to go to work and back via car as assistant driver. Hope to get home soon and prove how sorry I am and make up for it. We'll wait for your letter, so forget the wash, huh? This is a weird card. Here's a pretty beautiful card. Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado. 1951. We are in Denver. It was so hot, but it's cooler today. We went over this road when Joe was with us, 1949. We will see you when we get home. A mission in San Juan, California. 1962. Hi, this is not only a sunny valley, but a windy one. The adobe buildings, the mission, an old hotel, a house, and stable are very cool inside because of the thick walls. No wonder they had nice big fireplaces. The University of Wyoming in Laramie, Wyoming. 1958. Have we been through the snow? Went into a blinding snowstorm to get to Cheyenne last night. About 15 inches, still going west. Snow just everywhere. Have never seen so much in all my days. Will write later. The Chicago Travel Lodge. Boy, does this weather stink. Miss you. Wish you were here. Another visit to the Grand Canyon. 1984. 1984. Really beautiful. Having a fun time. The Singing Tower in Lake Wales, Florida. 1957. Thank you for my birthday card. I got 43 and enjoyed every one of them. This climate would be good for you. We are certainly enjoying it as well. The Wells Fargo Building in Columbia, California. Hi, little sweetheart. We have been in the pine tree country. Sure is pretty. sent in 1959. Fishermen in Sioux Lookout, Ontario, Canada. 1960. Arrived at 8 p.m. Wednesday. We have a pretty nice cottage, but no electric or other facilities. We are roughing it. The men went out alone today. The weather is getting quite cloudy. I hope they get something. A beautiful field of blue bonnets down in Texas. Look at that gradient up in the sky. It's just beautiful. 1947. I hope everyone is fine. Grandpa is just doing fine, and I'm getting anxious to go home. I guess you will go out to see Marilyn today. She said you had been out and was coming back. You help her take care of things. This is probably one of my favorites. Here we have some Scottish cattle. 1983. Arrived in Scotland yesterday. The countryside is beautiful. The cattle in the front are native to Scotland and are the only ones like them in the world. The State War and Navy Building in Washington, D.C. 1912. Cow is fresh. Cow is fresh now, and if you run across anybody wants to buy a cow, send them up. Suppose you had lots of storm out there yesterday. Opening your letter with cow is fresh. If you run across anybody wants to buy a cow, send them up. Some tropical fish in Hawaii. Oh, it looks like we got another lipstick mark on this one. Hope you don't mind me putting lipstick on this picture, 'cause I just came back from the class play and I was the teacher and I had to put it on. Walter Reed Hospital in Washington, D.C. 1939. Many thanks for your card. Am feeling fine, but will have to take it easy for about 2 months. I assume he sent that from this hospital. The world's most beautiful plaza in Grant Park, Chicago. 1940. This is Sunday Eve, and we have been to see Myra, Bob, and family. They are fine, not in their new home yet. Our trip up was perfect. The weather just right and no car trouble. Hope to have it so going home. We are enjoying our visit very much. We'll come to see you when we return home. The world's most beautiful plaza. The United Nations Secretariat Building in New York City. 1954. How's the weather in J-Town? We had 3 beautiful days here. Today the wind blows a gale and it is cold. Went into the city yesterday, tired of the crowd, so came home early. Hope everything is ship shape in DAR. See you soon. Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts. 1960. We were here yesterday and saw Plymouth Rock. Here is a very interesting card. This one shows a flood in Sydney, Ohio back in 1913. I have not seen a single card in my entire life that is depicting a flood. This is pretty cool. 1914. This bridge is about 30 feet above the river now, not more than 5-minute walk from here. I have to work pretty hard here, harder than ever. Beach Boulevard in Galveston, Texas. 1948. Hi folks, we stayed over in Houston last night. Arrived here this morning. Having a swell, sticky time. Also enjoying the seafood and sand. Be seeing you soon. And then on the front, they also add a little note that says, this is the hotel that we did not stay in. The old San Miguel Mission in Santa Fe, New Mexico. 1946. We wish you were with us. We are having a nice time. We'll be home the last of the week. Lots of rain here. The Delaware Water Gap in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. 1961. Lunch stop in Penn Stroud, best hotel in Stroudsburgs. It has been cool, no traffic. We stopped in Princeton for a stretch and orange juice. The St. Paul Building in New York. As you can see, the writing is on the front on this one. This is a very old card from 1905. In 1907, they started adding these lines down the backs of postcards so you could write the address on one side and then a message on the other. But I guess this person got around the lack of delineation by just writing the entire message on the front. The St. Paul Building. Tall because the apostle was short, I suppose. That's the way they reverse things over here. Those Elliott Fisher machines, for instance, write down on a flat surface while all others strike upon a round plateau. It has certainly got 'em all beat. Now isn't that American slang for you? Did I tell you they have an office at 87 Grace Church Street, London? Wow. The Mexican Emigration Building in Tijuana, Mexico. 1951. Having a wonderful trip. Sure is pretty hot. Prospect Point at Niagara Falls. 1935. We are having a swell time. Wish you were here. The falls are beautiful. We are going to Buffalo now. The Taylor Sawmill in New Hampshire. 1984. Having a ball with the baby. The Ocean Beach in Washington. 1960. Hi, enjoying the trip very much. Thanks a lot for the lovely gift. Steve sends his love. The Painted Desert of New Mexico. 1940. We are at Pearls, are seeing lots of pretty country. We are going to see this and to the Petrified Forest. We stayed Albuquerque last night. We are going down in here and look over Gallup some this afternoon. How is everyone? Hope you are both feeling better than you was last week. Now that's a pretty card. The sea coast of Sweden. 1912. Spending a couple of days here in a glorious little place at the sea coast of Sweden. I wonder if you are also having it just as pleasantly cool in Cleveland. I expect you are well and cheerful as ever. Give my regards to Miss K. Mount Rushmore. (1972). We saw the Badlands and Mount Rushmore. We're having a good time. We'll see lots more. See you in school. Doug Funk. The White House in Washington, D.C. 1948. Went through this today. They only let you in a few rooms. Walked miles today. The back of this card is in Russian, so I don't know what it says, but this is some kind of building or school or park or something in the Soviet Union. I don't see a postmark either, but I'm guessing 70s, maybe early 80s. Dear Clara, this has been a wonderful trip. I would recommend it to you and Chris. It's worth coming. People are everywhere. Hotels are nice and food is in abundance and good. Lots of modern buildings and you are allowed to go sightseeing on your own. We'll write and tell you more. The Hoover Dam. 1943. We enjoyed seeing the dam. Have had such a fine trip and a good visit with the family in California. Staying overnight in Gallup, New Mexico on the way home. Best regards to all the family. The Continental Divide as seen in New Mexico. 1940. Well, Pearl and I went shopping today, sightseeing rather. This is a pretty stretch of country near the divide. We have not heard a word from Granny, and she was supposed to write us. Hope everything is going along fine though. Guess we will be home in a few days. How is Vernette? Vernette, guess she is still with you? The Washington Monument with some more cherry blossom trees. This is a really pretty card. (1937). Thanks so much for your good letter. The cherry blossoms are beautiful, but we're more interested in Mount Vernon, Robert E. Lee's old home, Congressional Library, Supreme Court building, etc. When I've gone to my limit, I stop, but not because I'm satisfied. Skio, Ohio. 1958. I am staying at a cottage at Atwood Dam for a week. It is real nice. I am at the beach right now, and the water is real nice and warm. Some kind of a square in Denmark. 1949. This is where we stay having a good time. A steel factory in Pittsburgh. Look at the glow on this card, all the molten metal. 1946. We could have had the other drink. The train is 15 minutes late. Thanks for the fun and love. From Bob. And this was sent to a Mrs. H. Wood. So I feel like there's an entire story going on with this card right here. I feel like Bob and Mrs. H. Wood were having a drink together and they were thinking about getting another drink, but they decided that they didn't have time and they had to go catch their trains. And then Bob went to get his train and it was 15 minutes late, so he went and wrote this card to Mrs. H. Wood while he was waiting for the train to let her know that they could have got that other drink. Anna Maria Island in Florida. 1980. Well, we're here and enjoying the sunny weather. We were on the beach yesterday, a little too cool to go in the water, for me at least. See you soon. The Mackinac Bridge connecting the two parts of Michigan. 1978. Hi, we have been to the Porcupine Mountains for 4 days. Now we are here for a couple of days and then going to see how Floyd's dad is doing. The weather is great. Rogers Pass in British Columbia. 1965. This is one of the mountains that thrilled us today. For 2 days, the scenery has been magnificent. The roads are perfect, too, and we make excellent time. I hope all is well in Columbus. The Old Stone Mill in Newport, Rhode Island. 1911. Dear Mother, I have had a letter from Florrie saying she wants Mother and the girls to come up Thursday and spend the afternoon. It is her mother's birthday. We had a nice trip to Newport, found Jesse and all of his family on the boat when we got on. Balanced Rock in Colorado. 1954. Got the envelopes today. Thanks so much. We're crazy about our little house and so happy. It's very nice here in Colorado. Susan is fine. Glad to hear Roger is stepping out. Bet he'll be walking soon. We'll try to write more when we get more settled. So much to do. Thanks again. A view of San Francisco from above. 1948. We had a grand trip and are comfortably settled here in Myrtle's lovely home. Wish you could see all the lovely flowers and roses. Can see the Sierra Mountains from our windows. Trees are shedding leaves, but grass so green. Been Christmas shopping in Oakland and Treasure Island. Going into San Francisco soon. best wishes to all. Sunset at Miami Beach in Florida. (1951). Hi there. Well, we are here and really enjoying everything. Going to Cuba tomorrow. Weather is simply out of this world. Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone National Park. I can't really read the postmark, but I think 1947. We're having a swell time here, Yellowstone. It certainly is pretty. I sure do miss you. In Cheyenne, a cowboy was talking about someone, and he asked about what someone was doing. He said, "Don't you know? He's making big money. He's working in the oil field." Ha ha. What the hell does that mean? Fort Bridger in Wyoming. 1949. We are having a nice trip. We left Denver last week. We will go on to Yellowstone next week. An aerial view of Lariat Trail to Lookout Mountain in Colorado. 1950. We just drove up here. We'll see you in a few days. Old Faithful in Yellowstone National Park. 1959. Arrived here okay late this p.m. Got our little bear cabin. David saw a couple of bears on the road and one here at the camp rummaging the garbage pails. Also was interested in Old Faithful. And brr, it sure is plenty cold enough. And finally, our last card, a beautiful linen card showcasing the provincial government buildings in Toronto, Canada. Look at those blues and purples up in the sky there. 1952. Having a grand trip. Weather has been ideal so far. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.